guys.
I'm sorry I interrupt Robin, but I like to sing. I got Jason and Robin hanging out together for art, yeah.
So we're here today again with my homies, and we wanted to talk to Derail specifically, and and we're gonna get your take on it too, because you sketch a lot and you use certain materials, and pretty much Derail uses the same stuff I use. So we're gonna talk about our favorite pens, drawing pens, and our favorite sketchbook. Right now, this is just our top. There's other pens and markers and things that we use. There's other sketchbooks that we use, but this one I love. And I actually gifted this to you.
Yeah.
Like what? A couple years ago, right?
Might have been a year. Might have been a year.
Yeah.
Yeah, because of the dates on the drawings and stuff like that.
So I don't know if you guys can see this or not, but I'll put the link of it in the descriptions. It's Be Creative, and this particular company is called Be Paper, and they're based in Oregon. And this particular pad is marker, specifically for marker, and they have several different types of pads.
Yeah.
And what I loved about it, and the reason why I got it for Derail, was because the paper itself, let me get it like a, not that you'll actually be able to tell this texture, but it's so super silky soft.
Yeah.
Like your pens actually glide on this surface.
Yeah.
It's so nice. And I noticed that I've used a couple of different markers just as testers on this pad, and I didn't see a lot of feathering.
No, not at all. I mean,
In fact, hardly any at all.
I would say the only thing you probably would still, I would say like, might still have to put like a paper under it for bleeding. But as far as like how it takes, how they're able to blend, how it holds up, it's really good. Like this is like one of my favorite sketchbooks. I feel so sad like it came to the end. I was like, wow, like I know I need to get another one. I actually got another one. It is by this company, but this particular one, as far as for markers and pens, it's really good. Because the other one, I think it's like drawing or something like that, but it's not like this one.
Yeah, no. They have
like
several different
yes, they do.
tooths in terms of paper.
Exactly.
And I also ordered, because I use a lot of gel pens in my drawings.
Yeah.
And so I bought a black paper sketch pad.
Right.
And it's lovely. The paper is actually really nice, like a solid black. It's nice.
Okay.
I haven't used it yet.
Really?
Because I have a sketchbook right now. I'm almost finished with it.
And you're not the only one. I still have several sketchbooks that I still haven't used just yet. It's just because like I want to make sure
I go in order.
Yeah, you go in order.
I mean, because I'm all over the place mentally anyways. The last thing I want to do is have I already have a bunch of sketchbooks that are already like half filled. Yeah. And so it gets me unnerved whenever, I'm going to start in a new sketchbook and I have not even finished those other ones. Yeah. So I'm like, I ain't touching this till I'm done with this one. Because the black paper sketchbooks are hard to find, especially with the really nice, dark, black paper. So what did you initially love about when you first started this sketchbook? What did you initially find so different about it from your previous books?
It's because one of the things is because it is smooth. It's really smooth, and then too, like I would say when it's if I have issues, like say if I might mess up or something, it's not really bad as far as erasing. So that's a really good thing with it too. And then when I start using MarkerWorks with that, like I said, like the blending was really good. And I know a lot of people say, oh, what type of markers? Like for me, I probably use a lot of Prisma markers. So I know a lot of folks there's other markers like Copic, and there's some other companies out there too. But for me, for my hands, I use a lot of Copic. I mean, not Copics, but Prisma, and they work really, really good. I did some really, really good stuff with that. And it took very well with that particular paper. So,
yeah, Copic. I use some Copic.
Yeah.
I'm not really a marker person.
Yeah.
I do use Copic for like shading. I love, the grayscale marker set.
Yeah.
I also, because I don't really use ink markers, I basically go more towards paint pens.
Yeah.
I do love those. There's, a specific brand that I like to use, but
Yeah.
for this particular thing, I think, let's talk about your selection of pens here, because you've got, what is this, three or four different ones?
Probably 3 to 4. And here's the thing, like with these pens, here's the thing. If I didn't have these, ladies and gentlemen, I would still use a big working pen. I will still use that, okay? But it's just to say, hey, hoity-toity, like, oh.
Well, I mean, you can draw with anything.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's the whole bar. But I think, we as creators, we find those tools that, number one, fit well in our hands, right? It feels good. And then another thing too, especially with drawing, I find, frustrating really more than anything is how quickly something will dry up.
Yeah.
Or when you're trying to make a single line and it skips on you.
Yeah.
Or if it drips, or you're making solid marks and it's sort of like it's not consistent in color.
Right.
That to me is unnerving.
Yeah. So if anything, my top go-to pen is the one, ladies and gentlemen, that you have in her hand is the Le Pen, because there's another Le Pen they have. It was like the tip of it is very thick, but this particular one is a very artist friendly pen.
And this is a pigment ink.
Yeah,
so.
and here's the thing with that one too. I was gonna say, ladies and gentlemen, like I tested out on a different type of paper, and it takes really good when you're doing watercolor works. So, because I find a lot of times, like when you ink your stuff, and then you want to go over watercolor, the inks will tend to bleed. Even they will say like might be permanent and stuff like that. Sometimes it still bleeds a little bit. These holds up really good. Like I would say too, another tip, you could probably use like a hair dryer or something like that when you go on your watercolor with that to make sure that it's on there. But 9 out of 10, hit your watercolor with that, it's good.
Yeah.
Like it's really good. For me, this is the pen that I like to use when I do my watercolor works. Like this one, like when I am sketching, this is like probably like just a regular office type of pen. And this
Pentel is really they've got a good variety of artist pens.
Yeah.
And I think I agree with you. Now I can definitely say Pentel sometimes definitely is a hit and miss.
Yeah.
And you have one of the Arts Hybrid Technica.
Okay.
And I've drawn with some of these, and it does pretty good.
Yeah.
It's a nice consistent pen. It has a 0.3 nib, and I think they also come in all the nibs.
Yeah, they come in all different sizes.
Yeah.
So it's not just that 0.3. They go to either, I want to say a 0.6 or 0.7.
But I think these bleed.
Yeah, they do, and that's what I was going to say too. Like with that one, like I did a happy accident with these, like it could do a little bleed, so it gives it like if I do watercolors, I can activate it with the water with that, so it'll make like its own hybrid watercolor effect. And if you do it right, it looks really it looks really, really freaking good, So, but I do like it, but I wouldn't do like if I call.
Well, if you wanted a steadfast line.
Exactly, I wouldn't do it for that. But if you want something,
it's a nice I think don't you feel like it's a good, reliable pen?
Oh heck yeah! It's and again, it's like hit miss with any type of pens because you gotta stroke, hit the strokes or whatnot. Because sometimes you'll get it like, ooh, it just messed up or something. But I like it.
Have you ever used the Pentel?
I have.
Yeah.
I've went through all types of pens. As a matter of fact, I haven't used this particular type of Pentel pens. So I'm not necessarily sure about how it will work with my workflow. There's very specific workflows in which I would do. I actually I'm going to jump the gun here, but this the Derwent line makers. That's one if I were to use a pen for one more serious pen and ink work. These pens I will definitely use. I'm a huge fan of their not just their pens, but also it goes well with their other stuff. So their colored pencils, their watercolor pencils specifically. And it with these pens I mean, you guys gotta realize also that each pen, each brand is a specific type of black.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're feeling something that's a really rich black, and that's actually what I would attribute to the pen. If I were to use that, but a lot 98% of the time I don't want to go too harsh, and the Derwent, in my opinion, is not as harsh of a black. But that is perfectly fine for what I need to have done.
Now, what about durability? Can you watercolor?
This one I have not. For me, I have not had a chance to experiment with that particular one. Because I think for me, still the Derwent. That's with that one. That's fairly new.
Yeah.
And I have not did the test with that, with the watercolor and the different papers and stuff.
And too, I just learned, which is strange that I just learned it since I've been a custom framer my whole life, and I know terminology in terms of archival, conservation, that kind of stuff. But light fast, I don't know if it just has never been a language that has come up to me.
Yeah.
Or maybe I heard it and just never really put much thought into it. I don't know. But that's another thing I've been looking into with these markers and pen is the light fastness.
Yeah.
Because even if it says archival, doesn't mean that it's light fast.
Okay. Nope. Okay.
So I just learned that because I was looking into, I don't know, I don't really work with color pencil that much, we used to back in the day.
Right.
But I thought I would get a small set just so I had, primary colors.
Yeah.
Then I just started watching because, we know Prisma and those kind of places have the, really good quality stuff. But I thought I would try something else, just to change it up. But it seems like, that's what I learned about light fastness. And then I started really doing more research in it. And that's real important, because how long is this ink going to last?
Yep.
Are you going to look at it in 5 years and it's going to be brown?
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I have been imprinting for I want to say about around 20 years.
Okay.
And that's one of the things in which even if you don't 100% know about, you'll find out about it the hard way. So like we were talking I'm going backtrack a bit to the paper. So I myself have gotten into the habit of making my own sketchbooks, and so I will get a stack of whatever type of paper I need. So it could be like hot press, cold press, watercolor, various types of paper, whatever. And then I would actually bind it myself. That way, it's just so it's with me. Way I have a little bit more control of how many pages I go through and all the other stuff. It's also just because I can.
Yeah, that's cool.
Now, as far as the paper, I'm going back there because there's a simple fact in regards to paper is that light will yellow it. Light will yellow it. And it will also do it will also affect that the same thing that also affect the light fastness of inks. So if that's something that you are thinking about in terms for me, for sketches, I actually kind of sort of like the light fastness because I really like how
it's changed,
how paper ages, how paper changes, and it made me, I guess, more of a paper slash pen nerd of sorts.
Okay.
Now
the archival papers shouldn't really tarnish though, unless you really have mountain elements.
Yes.
And it takes them a long time to really change colors.
Yeah.
I mean, our archival paper will definitely keep its...
Because I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be covered. It's always going to be. It's going to be covered up. So, at most, you'll see the weathering probably at the edges of the pages. That's it.
Yeah.
Now, if they're open and let's say, if you're doing if you're using paper for final pieces. That's when for me. I would really break out the really good stuff, when you the sketchbooks I just use a little bit of the rag paper, but if
we
you
need
were
to do
that,
this is a cool idea, guys. Let me know if you think that's a cool idea. I think the three of us should do a sketchbook competition where we have to make the sketchbook ourselves. Now, I mean, I don't know if you had the same class that I did in school, but I had where we had to do book binding and stuff like that.
No, I definitely didn't have that.
Yeah.
I didn't have the class. However, I have experience.
So we might have a little bit of a leap on you, but that's not an excuse. You can go on YouTube and see how you're gonna make your book, and you can make it however you want.
That's correct.
So there's no rules, but each page, let's do 10 pages, just a 10 page and a cover. Okay. So 10 pages and a cover. That means you have to design the cover, and then we're gonna come back next year, 2022, with our finished book. So over the winter break, this is our challenge.
Okay.
This is gonna be, don't you guys think that's fun? So this is gonna be our challenge. We are going to, you can do whatever you want. There's no rules other than
these 10 pages.
10 pages and a cover.
Okay.
And it has to be bound. Okay. You need to be able to flip through or something.
Exactly. Okay.
Well, I mean, there's various ways to go about
do however
Since
you want.
it's Yeah. So like, if you're going to do 10 page, oh man, I will. Like in my head, I'm already nerdy.
And it can be
nerding
mixed
out.
media. It could be, combination. There's no creative rule here other than let's just do 10 pages on a cover, come back, and we'll show you guys what we came up with. I'm not even going to put like a theme. I don't think if you guys think we should do a theme, put it in the comments. Okay? We're going to get this going. Let's start in January. Let's say the second week of January.
Mm-hmm.
You guys can start thinking about your concepts. But if you guys give us a theme before the second week of January, we will incorporate one of those themes and give you a shout out who gave us a theme when we do the reveal. Don't you think that would be fun, guys?
Yeah.
Hey, wake up.
There you go.
Okay, so now we're going to get back to the pens.
Yes.
So we all know Fiber Castle.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody does.
Yeah.
And I love and hate them.
Yeah. It's love and hate.
It's a love-hate, because I think they outside of the Le Pens, I think the Le Pens has lasted me longer than the Fiber Castle. They dry up too fast.
Yeah.
Like even yours, the first stroke is dry.
Wow. Yeah. Yeah, it's love and hate.
So I mean, you guys tell us too, because maybe there's pens out there that we haven't tried, but I can tell you, between the three of us, I don't know that we've left a stone unturned. Do you?
Except for this one. This is another one. It's probably it's a Mondo. It's a double tip pen, so it has like a broad tip on it. You might not be able to see it, but then you got a thin tip at the bottom of it too. So
2 pens in one.
Mm-hmm. So
Yeah,
I kind of
that's very interesting.
Yeah, test it out. Yeah. Then you got your broad stroke.
Oh, I see.
Yeah, so it's not bad. I got that. What was that? Which the store was around? What was that from the artist store that was on Wabash? Mm-hmm.
Yeah. The only thing is the broad stroke is very clean.
Yeah.
But the whatever that millimeter is.
Yeah, they don't have
0.8 or no 0.4.
Oh, okay.
That was dry a little.
Well, I've been having.
I'm sure you had it for a while.
Yeah, that's what it is. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it doesn't seem very consistent, but
now,
could have been good back when you got it.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I've noticed in terms of pens, like you would want to store it just
Upside
like this.
down.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because if you store it this way, the ink will go towards
Unless
the
you
back.
have a double edge,
Unless
then you want
double-edged
to to store it flat.
Yeah. Yeah. So that way it will.
Stay
it will
lubricated.
stay lubricated for a bit longer.
Well, I'm bad, so I don't do none of that. I just throw it in my backpack.
But I
so.
think ballpoint pens though can be stored upright. And markers should be stored flat. Because if you store them upside down, they will leak. You don't want that.
It'll be just like ballpoint pens. I have horrible luck.
Yeah,
with
so I always,
bits.
either ballpoint pens are gonna go like this, and even for me, like my gel pens, I just store them flat. My ballpoint pens and these kind of art nibs, I store flat. But my Fiber Castle, my Le Pens, and those kind of drawing pens, I store upside down.
Okay. That's a good tip for me.
Yeah, I mean, it just works a lot better. You get more out of it.
Okay.
Gravity and all that, science.
Yeah. One good in the science, y'all.
Well, we wanted to kind of give you guys a quick share on our top picks for drawing materials, and I don't know if you guys ever heard of this company, but I will put the link. This is not a paid promotion, by the way. It's just really my while I was visiting in Oregon, I got one of these, and I really loved it, and that's why I got him one, because he's drawing all the time.
Yep.
But if there's any B executives like in the house, send it.
Yeah, we would love some samples.
We'll work with you.
Yeah,
you know, and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Send us a few sketchbooks.
But if you are watching, I just want you guys to know that thank you, because I truly do love your sketchbooks.
Yeah, so
I think they're awesome.
Their sketchbooks are really good.
So, thank you guys for tuning in. And if you have any comments about some other materials that you think we might like to try, please let us know, and maybe we'll give it a go and do another video and give you a shout out if we use one of your ideas.
Absolutely.
So thanks guys for tuning in, and we will see you again soon. Please share, subscribe, and like.
Yeah. Like, L-I-K-E.
Say goodbye, Derail.
Yeah, goodbye, y'all. I wave my hand, y'all. I do the clap, y'all. Scream and shout, y'all. We just out, y'all. Robin got out the seat. She about to unplug. Yeah, much love. Yeah, I'm just doing my just love. Peace.